Hi, thank you for tuning in with the Empath Sisters. I'm Bev.
I'm Shelly.
And last episode, we were talking about grounding, and also we included a grounding exercise that I practice every day and that I love to share with anybody else. So if you had a chance to listen to that, that's awesome. And last episode, we mentioned that we were going to talk about therapy in this session, and we actually decided that we're also going to talk about self-care and how therapy can also be a part of self-care. So yeah, and I know Shelley's wanting to share her experience within therapy. So I'll hand it
Yeah.
over to you, sis.
All right. Okay. Well, yeah, I agree with Bev. Um it wasn't that we wanted to just talk about only therapy because there are
Mhm,
tons of ways of I guess therapy
mhm,
and that is self-care. So, for myself, I actually started seeing a psychologist and have been off and on for almost now 10 years, which I can't believe it's almost been 10 years. But yeah, I in 2012, like if you haven't listened to the very first episode of Gratitude and about my experience of having a collapse that happened to me, that's basically when I started therapy because of the fact that, a major event happened. I
mhm.
believe that I should have started therapy probably way sooner than that, just because I had other things that happened. And in 2004, I had open heart surgery, and that was traumatic as well. So I think it just really was important for me to start,
Yeah.
and I did start, in 2012. So I'll just give you a little bit of a background on that. And so again, in January, like on January 24th, I call it my lucky day, and I had my heart had stopped, and I had an outer body experience, and all that happened. And so then doctors didn't know why and what happened because I've gone through all the testing. And so they
Yeah.
implanted an ICD, which is a cardiac device. So it's basically like my own AED, but internally.
Mhm.
And about 2 months after my implant device was put in, I ended up getting an inappropriate shock from the device. And I was doing actually pretty good for the first 2 months before I had that
Yeah.
shock. And so when that shock happened, it literally rocked my world. Like it totally scared me so badly that I ended up getting to the point where I literally didn't want to get off the couch. Like I just didn't want to move because I was so petrified that it was going to shock me again. And so I think it was about a month or so in, and every day I was just so scared of doing anything. I couldn't even like shower by myself. I would wait until somebody was home. I couldn't drive, by the way. Yeah, they said that I was not allowed to drive for at least 6 weeks. So
Yeah.
I literally couldn't do anything. Well,
Mhm.
I shouldn't say that. It's not that I couldn't do anything. I just chose not to do anything because I was so scared. So I
Yeah.
remember one day, my husband came home and he was like, he was so sweet. He really was. He sat me down and he was like, Shelly, he's like, we can't live like this. Like, you can't live like this. Like,
Yeah.
he was very sweet, and he was coming from a place of like just concern and stuff. And he's like, I really just think that you need to talk to someone. And after a lot of like, I don't know, I don't think I need it, and
Yeah.
going through all the stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so I finally was like, okay, yeah, it's time. I need to talk to someone. So he found a psychologist for me, and he really was sweet. He was like, I'll come with you, I will go in with you, like it's all good, because I was so nervous because like I'd never seen a therapist before, and I was
Mhm.
that stigma that everybody had, like if you saw a therapist, you were crazy, and, all those
Yeah.
kinds of things, which is terrible because that is not true.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so I ended up seeing this therapist. And I remember my very first meeting. Dwayne did come in with me, and we sat down, and I swear to God, she just said probably like one sentence, and all I did was cry the whole time. And I kept crying and saying, I was sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm crying.
Aw.
And she was just like so sweet. And she was like, it's okay. She's like, you do what you need to do. She's like, you can cry.
Aw.
And
Nice.
yeah, and so she asked me another question. I remember because she was like, "So, do you want to talk about why we are here today?" And I was like,
Because we didn't get there yet.
"No." And so I finally got through the words of that I had just had a collapse and that I had ended up getting a shock, and like through talking like that, I was
Yeah.
still very emotional. Like I just couldn't stop crying. And
Mm.
so then it was like close to the end of the session, and she goes, okay, so she's like, I would really recommend that I see you in a couple days. And she was so sweet,
Aw.
and even Dwayne was like, like, because he had left
Yeah.
halfway through this session, because he was like, okay, I'm gonna let you, talk or
Or
whatever, but I
something.
didn't really
Mm-hmm.
talk. But anyway,
Yeah.
so then
Aw.
yeah, she suggested to see her in a couple days, and I told her like we lived 2 hours away. And
Yeah.
so she just said, well, she said, like, it's up to you, but she said, I really believe that yes, you definitely need some talk therapy. And
Yeah.
so we did work it out, and I ended up going to see her. And again, um, I think it was like the second or third session in, I finally was like stopped crying.
Mm.
And I just remember how much she gave me, because it really did give me a different perspective, like a perspective on life. And it just opened my eyes. I started slowly realizing that I didn't need to be afraid, and that it was understandable, and how it was traumatic, and
Yeah.
things like that. And she gave me the tools and what to do and how to go through that. So slowly but surely, it really did like help me. And then shortly after I had seen her, I think I seen her for like 2 months maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and we ended up moving. So um, it was actually the hardest uh, moment for me to say goodbye to her, because she was like a best friend. It almost felt like she was my best friend, because she
Yeah.
helped me through so much for all the things that I had gone through. And
Yeah.
so when we did move, we moved to another province. And so in the next province that we ended up in, which is where we are now in Alberta, and because
Mm-hmm.
at that time it was Manitoba, and I did find another therapist, and
Good.
um, I went to see her for a little while, and then I took a break because I felt like I was in a good place.
Yeah.
And so that got me up to about 2015. So
Hmm.
then in 2015, I ended up getting into a car accident, which that's another whole story. And that again set me back. And so I ended up
Yeah.
seeing a therapist again. And
Did you feel like you connected with this new therapist? How, like
um,
how you did with the first one?
yes and no in certain things, like what we would talk about, because she did help me through other stuff. Like, because when I
Okay.
did go see her, my intention was just because of the accident, right? And how to get back
Right.
into car, and driving, and all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
she helped me more about like some childhood traumas, right? And
Okay.
so
Yeah.
that part, I really was grateful for her for doing that. So I got
Yeah.
through some stuff that I went through then.
Yeah.
And then we moved again. So I didn't feel,
You move a lot.
yeah, we move a lot,
Yeah.
yes. And so when we moved to, again, I felt that I was not, I felt in my heart of hearts, I thought I was fine, I was good, and I'm over it. But um, so that was like in 2017. And then in 2018, I went back to see another therapist, and I found one here where we are in Lethbridge. And I've been with Heather for a long time now, and she's helped me through a lot of other things too.
Yeah.
And but like I said, I just wanted to mention that like talk therapy is not for everyone.
Hmm.
You can go through phases of, in your life of like having talk therapy, and it helps
Hmm.
in lots of different things in different ways. But there are other ways. There, it's not
Hmm.
just talk therapy. There's like hypnotherapy, like what Bev's doing now. There's
Yeah.
that. There's um, even just doing stuff to the body, like going to see like a chiropractor, massage. And there's different kinds of massage, by the way, which we'll probably talk about. Um, and acupuncture, and like there's just so many things that you can do to help
Yeah.
yourself get through whatever you're going through.
Yeah. There's
Um,
definitely a lot of different modalities out there that,
mm-hmm,
are accessible to so many people. So,
absolutely.
yeah.
And Reiki is one of them, which Bev and I do.
Yeah.
And it's a different kind of,
Approach, I would say.
yeah, yeah. I was gonna say healing, but I mean, I guess it's just because I'm so used to saying healing. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely something that it's not for everyone. Not
Hmm.
everyone can have um, just one specific modality, like you were saying,
Yeah.
right? So yeah.
I feel like it's just part of the journey. And as you're going through your journey in your life, that you kind of just stumble upon finding the things
Mm-hmm.
that you need at the time that you need them. Whether it be, okay, I feel like I need talk therapy, or someone mentions it to you, like your husband did and said, okay, I think this is something you should do. Or trying, I'm just going to try Reiki. I'm going to see what that does, maybe
Mm-hmm.
because somebody else had an experience with it and maybe it helped them in some way. And so I know even for myself on my journey that I also hadn't had talk therapy until, oh my gosh, I would say probably about 4 years ago. I hadn't really dived into talk therapy. I did a little bit in my first marriage. Um, I was not in a good place, and my kids were really young at the time, and my marriage wasn't so good at the time, and it was just really, it became really hard for
Mm-hmm.
me. And I know that I was really struggling.
Yeah.
And I remember calling, I think, well, we lived in Alberta at the time, and I think I called like 411 or something, whatever the health
Oh
line
yeah, right.
number was.
Yeah, yeah.
And so when I called 411, and then I just said, you know what, I'm just not in a good place. I have little kids and they need a mom, and
Mm-hmm.
I need to do something. I just
Yeah.
knew. And because I was even having like suicidal feelings at the
Mm-hmm.
time, and I was really, it scared me to the point where I
Yeah.
was like, I got to find something. And I literally just, I think I just looked in the phone book, honestly, because I don't even know if we had internet or what. But
Yeah, I was
so
just gonna
yeah,
say, I don't even think we had, yeah, like we just
no,
phoned.
yeah, I just looked in the phone book,
Yeah.
and it was like, I think at the beginning of the phone book, just under like healthcare and things like
Mm-hmm.
that, and called 411, told them my situation, and I was so grateful. They got me in touch with a counselor,
Mm-hmm.
and it was covered under our healthcare, which I was so grateful for.
Yes.
And it definitely helped me. It allowed me to get stronger and to work through some emotions and some feelings that I was having, and
Mm-hmm.
it definitely helped me to get to a better place. And then that was it. I didn't go for very long. I just needed a little bit, and then I carried on through life. Um, and then, yeah, like I said, about 4 years ago, I kind of picked up talk therapy again. I just knew for me that there was things that were kind of like coming to the
Building.
surface.
Yeah.
It was
Mm-hmm.
building, I wanted to say bubbling up.
Yeah.
And I almost felt like I just didn't know what to do. I was just literally, I was like, okay, I need help. I don't know what to do. And I just thought, okay, I've done talk therapy before. And so I kind of put it out there, help me find a therapist that's going to help me.
Yeah.
And yeah, sure enough, I came across my therapist, Mary Lou, and she has helped me with so much. And really, it was about my childhood traumas that I've been through that were kind of coming to the surface,
Yeah.
and also still some grieving over the loss of our dad. I was still
Yeah.
working through that.
Mm-hmm.
And just so many different things that I've been able to work through in talk therapy. And it's been amazing, an amazing experience for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently not in therapy right now because again, like you said, got to that place where I
Yeah.
feel I'm good. I'm at
Right.
this place. I'm okay. And oh, but I've been kind of doing other self-care things, like you had mentioned, some of them being, um, acupuncture. So like
Mm-hmm.
I make self-care my priority, and I book ahead every single month. I used to just go when it was acute.
Yeah.
I'd like go, 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 and then all of a sudden I would be in a really rough place, like body wise even, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'd be on all these appointments and
Right.
trying to get myself better, but yeah, so now I just have learned that you don't always just need self-care at acute stages. It's just something like it's an
Right.
ongoing thing in your journey.
Mm-hmm.
And I really, really, I stress that to my clients as well. Continue your self-care, whatever that looks like,
Yeah.
you know, whether it's chiro, acupuncture, massage, whether you're, going to counseling or you go for Reiki healing, or maybe you're going to try hypnotherapy, or there's so many modalities out there, like
Yes.
reflexology. I mean, it's
There's so
endless.
many.
And
Yeah.
I think there's even things that I don't even know about
Mm-hmm.
that are out there that I haven't even come across yet or explored. So, um, yeah, and I would just say, like, follow your gut, listen to what other people say, and, if it resonates with you, just try it.
Yeah, and like Bev said too, like it is important, and it really is because
Yeah.
um, I don't know about you, Bev, but like you
Yeah.
were saying about how like you would wait until it was acute and all
Yeah.
that, but at the same time, it's like you know, like you already know, like in your body, you feel
Yeah.
it. You feel
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, I know I need this, or I know I need something.
Yeah.
And for those that don't have, resources, there are resources. I'm telling
Hmm.
you, there are. You can contact your community. They will
Yeah.
help you find whatever you are looking for. Like if you need a
Yeah.
counselor, if you need support,
Yeah.
um, anything, they will
Yeah.
help you. There are resources. So just
For
because
sure.
you don't have, or the money or the, um, um, what is it called? Like insurance, like that kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
stuff, like,
Benefits. Yeah.
so yeah, or like, yeah, health benefits or whatever, or wherever you are, there are resources, just so you know that. I just don't want you to think that there is nothing for you out there, oh, because
Hmm.
of this. So
Yeah.
just remember that there are resources everywhere, there's support everywhere, and
Hmm.
yeah, just to remember that. But there
Yeah.
are different kinds of modalities for sure. Like I just
Yeah.
found out that there was, it's called acupressure. Like it's not, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
an acupuncture, but it's not with needles, it's with points. And then
Yeah.
another modality called body talk, which is
Yeah.
pretty
There's
cool
body talk.
too.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
so like there's just so many kinds of things out there that you can do. Another one that I do sometimes in sessions is fork tuning, like tuning your body with
Yeah.
fork tuning. I do some of that.
Yeah.
Another modality that I do is singing bowl. I love to raise vibration with the singing bowl of each chakra for somebody. Like it's
Yeah.
just, there's just so many things that you can do. And it's not just that stuff. I wanted to mention too is that
Yeah.
you can also do some self-care in nature.
Yeah.
You can go for a walk. You can go and connect and sit in the grass, or go to
For
somewhere
sure.
that, is comforting to you. The mountains, the
Hmm.
trees, whatever makes you feel like you're giving yourself therapy, really.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes some people like going shopping. That's their therapy. Good for you.
Yeah.
Like it really is. So like there, it's
Hmm.
unbelievable how many there are, and it's limitless. Like there is just
Yeah.
no limits to that. And
I
another
think it's,
one, oh,
go
sorry, go
ahead.
ahead. No, you
I
go
was just
ahead.
going to say it's like a matter of finding the things that I always say raise your vibration, that make you
Yeah.
feel automatically grounded. And some people, it is like doing art, painting or
Mm-hmm.
creating something,
Yes.
or maybe it's gardening and planting. It
Mm-hmm.
could be baking. Maybe you love to cook, or,
Yeah.
you could have a bath and that's very
Mm-hmm.
relaxing for somebody and that's therapeutic.
Yeah.
Some people love to write and
Yeah.
journal, and
Right.
those are ways that you can kind of like go within and have a break, and
Yeah.
just kind of give yourself support. Even grounding yourself, can be a wonderful thing as well. Or, you can reach out to a friend or a family member, if you're really feeling like you're needing something.
Mm-hmm.
Most people are usually always willing to lend an ear or a shoulder,
Yeah.
for you to lean on. So I would just really encourage those as well, finding those things that you love to do. Maybe you love to go down to the river and canoe for a bit, or go for a bike ride, or go
Yeah.
for a walk. There's just, it's endless. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of finding those things that you love, and maybe you didn't realize that those can be therapeutic or could be
Right.
considered as your self-care for yourself. So a lot
Mm-hmm.
of these things don't even have to cost you any money,
That's
you
right.
know. I know for me, I love dancing and singing. That's something that I love to do all the time. My kids hate it, but it's just one of
Yeah.
those things. I have music playing all the time in my car, in my living room, in my kitchen, while I'm cooking. I crank the tunes and I'm singing and dancing, and it literally grounds me and raises my vibration at the same time. And it is so therapeutic. And I love the
Mm-hmm.
singing part too, because I'm really working within my throat chakra and using that expression, because I am
Right.
definitely not artistic. Most people know that. I can't draw at all.
Yeah. Neither can
And
I.
I'm not really good at like hands-on creating. So for me, that is a way that I get to be creative. So I
Mm-hmm.
just love it. So you can definitely try that as well.
Yeah.
So
And yeah, and like remember that that is a form of meditation. You have to
yeah,
remember meditation is not just sitting in silence, because that doesn't always work for any, like not for everyone.
yeah,
Some
exactly.
people who have ADHD or PTSD cannot sit
Hmm.
in silence. So just
Yeah,
remember that any type of that stuff is definitely a form of meditation. For
yeah.
me personally, like Bev said, she likes to dance and sing. For me, I
Hmm.
love the silence. Like I can sit in
Yeah.
quiet for hours. I love being in the nature and just listening to the nature. That grounds
Hmm.
me. That's how
Yeah.
I like mine. But at the same time, like Bev said, there is lots of ways. So just remember
Yeah.
that it's not just one specific thing of sitting in silence and quiet and trying to, remove thoughts out of your mind. Because you know what? I'm
Yeah.
sorry, we all think. We are always thinking, we're
Yes.
always talking to ourselves. So that is a form of meditation. There's no
Yeah.
way that you can sit in silence with no thought. None. I'm telling you. You can't do it. Well, I can't anyway.
So many issues
uh,
with my camera today. I'm so sorry, everybody. I don't know what is going on.
it's just like,
Um, just
sliding.
just feel like bugging me today. So I'm like crooked all the time. And oh my goodness. So sorry about that. I'm not very technical. So for some reason today it's not working. Maybe we just need more laughter today. So, and that's
Yeah.
just a way that spirit is showing us, just need to laugh. Don't sweat the small stuff, right? You got to always have like things so perfect and
Yeah.
all in order and organized. But sometimes that's like life literally is trying to show you that you can't always control everything. There's so many things that are out of your control. And once you just let go,
Yeah.
seriously, life becomes a whole lot easier when you just
Yes.
let go. So
Yes.
I'm going to let go
Yes.
of the camera issues that I'm having today. So whether I'm going to be straight or crooked or super bright, I don't know. It's just what it is today.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I know. I was like, it's sliding to there.
this way, I feel like I'm on a boat, just like rocking back and forth.
Yeah,
Sorry, everybody. I know people who are listening to the podcast won't see that, so
right.
that's good for you. Um, but also, I wanted to mention too is that I do also know that, there is not everybody has the resources or the money or the benefits to go and do a lot of these, self care modalities as well. And for myself, I have, created healing circles that I do offer here at the center,
Hmm.
where, I offer free healing. I invite some other healers to come in, and, there's power in, multiples. So I like to have that and I offer it to anybody that's in need of healing that can afford it. It's free to come. And we also send healing to others that are out there that
Hmm.
can't be there in person and sending them some distant healing. So that's another thing that I offer here. If anyone here is local to Saskatoon, you're welcome to join those. And I do also offer support groups virtually and in person as well, which are also free. And we literally talk about whatever. It's like hanging out, with us, or if Shelly's on virtually with us too. So
Yeah,
it's just like hanging out, chatting. We talk about everything and anything, whether it's spirit related or not.
yeah,
So there are things in your community.
hmm,
Just look for them, and
yeah,
find your jam, find your people.
yeah,
Get connected, do things for you.
hmm,
I always say to my clients, it's amazing how I used to always put myself on the back burner. Naturally, I want to give and do for everybody else.
yeah,
And that unfortunately has costed me a lot physically. And so this is why I'm on a healing journey. I've learned so much, and I've learned to say no
hmm,
and put myself first. And it wasn't with the intention of being selfish. It was just like, yeah, I need to fill my bucket up first so that I can
right.
then overflow to everybody else.
Yeah,
I can't, you can't give from an empty cup.
no,
So, it's not selfish. It's just what we need to do. And I'm like, so many other people can do it. So we can, I can do it too. So did you hear that?
yes.
So I don't know if
It's,
anybody else will hear this in the recording, but
well, it did
there's,
last time, so it probably will.
oh, this is so funny. So it's like, it's the weirdest sound. It doesn't even sound like static.
Well,
It's just
yeah,
this
it's like a
weird
frequency.
frequency.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So neat. I
I
love when
know.
spirit just shows up through all
Hmm.
different ways at the right
Yes. Oh
time.
my
So I
gosh,
would say that
yes.
as a sign to everybody that's listening. If you are listening to this, you're hearing it for a reason. You need self care.
Hmm.
Take time for you. Find people to connect with. Speak
Yeah,
your truth. Be yourself. Raise your vibration. Do all the things. That's what my
yeah.
students. We just want to do all the things, Bev. We want to learn all the things. So just go do all the things.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
and I think
So
that's awesome. Yeah, I had the privilege to actually go on one of your virtual support groups, and it was fun. It was nice to, just kind of like talk about whatever you want to talk about, and it doesn't necessarily have to be about spiritual stuff. It can be
yeah.
about anything, and it was nice to meet a couple of the ladies and
Yeah.
get to talk about things that are random or
Yeah.
questions
Totally.
or whatever, right? So it's great. I'm so happy that you offer this support for your students or anyone really.
Yeah.
That
Anybody.
yeah.
Everybody
So
and anybody. So near or far,
right.
you're welcome to join at any time. I usually have it always posted on my personal website. So if you ever do want to join, even virtually, if you are far away, by all means, reach out. I can send you the link, and you can also join our support circle. And yeah, it's fun. I really like it. I also like to say I try to keep politics and COVID off the topic table,
Yeah.
just because I want to keep our vibration high. But I mean, if it's something that is really bothering you or is affecting your life in some way, and you're really needing support in that area, absolutely, of course, that's what it's meant to be,
Mm-hmm.
is support. So
Yeah.
but yeah, other than that, we try to keep it really fun, and so that you're leaving feeling really filled up.
Mm-hmm.
And Yeah, and you get to meet other people, which is awesome. So
Yeah.
like-minded, and you just get to be yourself and talk about all these weird things
Yeah,
and
for
not be judged
sure.
for it.
For
So
sure. For
yeah, so it
sure.
was fun. It
Yeah.
was so nice to have you join us last time.
Yeah,
So
I was very happy to be joining. It was great.
yeah.
It was really nice to well, and it also helped me a little bit too to kind of know some of the faces to the ones that have been commenting on our stuff,
Oh
like
yes.
with YouTube and Instagram and stuff. So it was nice to
Yeah.
get to see who they are too, right? So
Yes.
it was
Oh, I know they
good.
were super excited when I said that you were joining, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, the Empath sisters!" So this was like, "Oh my gosh,
I know. Yeah,
so funny."
it was
But
great. And
yeah.
speaking of that, so I just wanted to mention that our next episode, we don't really have a topic because
Hmm.
I am going
Yeah.
to join Bev in Saskatoon, and we are going to kind of do a live what Q&A
Yeah.
or something like that. But
I
anyway, it's
I
in the
think
works.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes,
Yeah.
it's in the
So,
works and it will be so fun. I will definitely be sharing and posting or whatever here locally. So if anyone
yes.
wants to join us and be in person, and we might do questions ahead of time or we just might wing it and do it there. I don't know what. Yeah,
Yeah.
like Shelly said, it's in the works.
It's in the works.
Um, so you guys, I
Yeah.
guess, will all get to find out after the
Right.
fact. So
Yeah. So I hope
yeah, it'll
that
be awesome.
yeah, I hope that the people that are local and that are
Yeah.
watching this or check our page out with the Empath Sisters. That
Yeah.
that we're going to do something together in
In
person,
person.
and yeah, I'm
Excited.
excited. So
I'm so
um,
excited.
yeah,
I
me
love
too.
being in person. I love it
Yeah.
when it feels really real.
Yeah, yeah. And I want to say though, I don't know if we're going to go actual live. We might just have someone, record us, and
Yeah.
we might just post that. So we'll let
Yeah.
you know. We'll let the you guys know about the details and all that kind of stuff. So
Oh, yeah,
stay
for
tuned
sure.
and to
Yes.
watch for our announcement. So just
So
wanted to
exciting.
say, well, thank you so much for tuning in with the Empath Sisters
Yes.
today,
Thank
and
you.
sending you love, light, and gratitude wherever this may
Yes.
find you.
Yes.
So
Take
take
care,
care.
everybody. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.